Welcome to the first ever episode 171 of the Kinda Funny Gamescast. I'm your host, Jared Petty, today, and I'm joined to my left, your right, by two spectacular human beings. First, I asked Andy what his nickname was before the show, and he said, well, I don't really know. I haven't been on in a while. Andy, you want to pick a nickname?
It used to be the Hispanic Heartthrob, the Texas Treasure. It's been a while, Kevin. I don't know.
I like the Texas Treasure.
The Texas Treasure? Yeah. I can see
Maybe
that.
Cortez the Conqueror.
What? Wow. Well, there's I don't know. There's some kind of unfortunate cultural overtones.
Sure.
With that.
Yeah. For sure.
He was kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Do you want to be associated?
I'm my own person. Though.
Yeah. You are.
I'm my own person.
Andy, his own person.
And I realized I went straight to Andy here instead of going across to Kevin and then to Andy like that. We're shaking things up right now on the Gamescast. That's right. Then on the other side, Kevin, your nickname, my friend?
Oh man.
What's this?
What's my actual nickname? Not the ones that Nick has given me.
What is your actual nickname?
Yeah.
Not T-Bone.
The Peruvian
the
Nick
glue.
Foley.
I'm the glue.
The
You're
glue.
the glue.
That's
Kevin
right,
The
yeah.
glue, Kevin
Yeah.
Coelho, holding this whole thing together. You are indeed the duct tape that binds this whole operation together. We give you a lot of crap, but we wouldn't get 10 minutes here.
I'm good
you.
at what I do.
Yeah, you are.
No, you would. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't be as pretty as it is.
I don't think we would. I literally don't think anything would be on the internet if it weren't for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't think that would work. Likewise, nothing would ever be edited if Andy weren't here.
Oh, that's cool. Greg's job.
Oh, you do a lot of editing.
Yeah, I do party mode.
Photoshopping, a lot of things.
Though I would say, Kinda Funny would look a lot uglier. Uglier.
Uglier.
Well, we're already pretty ugly. Let's be honest.
Kevin looks like the guy that the really, really hot high school girl breaks up with to end up going with the nerdy guy at the end of the movie.
Like, that's how you look right now?
I would have kept her.
Yeah.
Nah.
If it was me, I would have gotten it. You know what I mean? I would have kept it.
Wait, you think you have that power over
You look
her?
like you're going to give us all
She's an
swirlies
independent
right
woman.
now.
She can do what she wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would have treated her right the whole time.
Well, that doesn't mean she's going to stay
No,
with
but
you.
you're
What
the
if she just
high
didn't
school
like you?
bully.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he never treats her right.
I think
and that's why, like, the nerd's always like treating her better. And she's like, oh, man, look at him treat her.
You're the villain, dude.
I think
I could be the villain, but I'm the villain who gets the girl at the end still.
No, I think she chooses Ducky over you.
Nah.
Yeah, I think Ducky
Cool,
definitely.
Greg.
They're liars.
Thank you.
No, sorry, I got nothing.
You
I
got the Kev Lackey over there.
I got no tolerance for this.
You
All
can
right.
fucking call him
Shout out to Patreon producer Tom Bach. Tom Bach, thank you. Thank you so much for helping make this show possible. Tom Bach, good guy. Also,
Tom
shout
Bach,
out
go Spurs, go.
underneath right here. We're gonna have some Patreon folks here, folks that are helping us out. You see their names right there? That's my favorite, right there.
Hey, Gary Busey's down there, too.
No.
Really?
No.
No?
Gary Busey is definitely not there.
Gary,
You don't think so?
Yeah, I saw him.
I don't think I saw him. I don't think I saw him go under there. Gentlemen, I'd like to know what you've been playing. We're going to start with Mr. Andy. What have you been playing this week?
I mean, well, I've been playing something that I can't talk about. I played Detroit Become Human. I beat it.
Well, thanks a lot, Andy.
And I can't say a goddamn word about it.
Okay, so you're like, well, I sure did play. That is such a tease. You're like, you know what? I've been playing this really cool thing that you, Jared, have totally not been
here's
able
the
to
thing.
play.
We didn't know about the whole embargo. We thought the embargo went up today.
Yeah.
When really today, today's Thursday. When really today's the day that we can say, hey, we have the game, and
Okay.
we may have been playing it or
So
not.
that was the embargo,
Yes.
but not the embargo.
It fucking sucks.
Did you read the email?
No, that's Greg's job.
Oh, okay. So
Greg
this-
is the one. Greg
so
is the
Greg's responsible for this chicanery.
Greg is the one who texted us over the weekend and was like, hey, I fucked up. We can't talk about Detroit on Thursday. Andy can't talk about it. He can only say he's been playing it.
So you can tell us what you have been playing, but can't talk about. But it's a big, wide,
tell us?
wonderful world of games.
Breaking news. I'm just going to break embargo right now.
No!
It is playable in 1080p.
What about 4K?
Let's not ask any more of these
What?
questions.
Oh, yeah, I was just kidding.
This is streaming
You
live.
can
Are
use
you
a
still-
DualShock 4 controller.
We need to
answer-
respect our relationships with the publisher here.
For sure.
Fine.
But there are a lot of games out there, and I'm going to bet you that's not the only game you played this week.
I've been playing a lot of Fortnite.
Oh.
And it started off as something that I was doing just because it was popular. And
Popular?
I have legitimately fallen in love with this goddamn game.
Yeah?
I'm very, very addicted to Fortnite. To the same amount where I felt like I was with PUBG for those few weeks, and even Overwatch over the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Because for a while it was Overwatch here, and then Fortnite, and then I'll switch back to Overwatch. And lately it's just been nothing but Fortnite. Going through the different modes, squads, solos, duos. The Thanos mode is really fun.
Oh, you like Thanos mode?
Had a blast with that.
You got to beat Thanos that one time, right?
I got super lucky, beat Thanos.
Oh, what's it like? What's it like?
No, I said B.
Oh, I got to beat Thanos, but I did beat him as well.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear both stories.
Also.
Let's hear about being Thanos. Then let's hear about beating Thanos.
Well, I choked very badly, Jared. There was like 8 people left, and I got Thanos, which is like where you want to get Thanos at.
Yeah.
You want to have him when there's like less than 10 people on the map. And so it was like, all right, this is set up for nothing but success. But I knew deep down, this is going to be a classic Cortez choke job right here.
Okay.
Choke job.
And
God.
And I didn't really understand his mechanics at first. So a few of the people that I encountered brought down my shield and my health quite a good chunk.
Okay.
Because I was like, should I punch? Or really, I realized I should just be using the purple beam to shoot.
The power beam the whole
Yeah,
time?
but the whole punching melee stuff controlled kind of wonky. And I missed a lot of my shots when I was trying to punch people. And I fucked up.
So it was inexperienced.
Should have just used the purple beam, right? So eventually I got it down, and it was like, all right, there's me and there's one guy left, but my power is like so low because everybody brought me down. The way the mechanic works is you kill somebody, your shields regenerate.
Yeah.
So I had full shield, and like out of the 800 health, I had like maybe 100-ish.
Oh, okay.
And I'm walking around looking for the last dude. It's just me and one other man on this fucking godforsaken arena. And generally they hide in bushes, right? It's sort of a popular tactic in Fortnite. Because even when you're aware that you should be looking out for bushes, you still kind of forget, right? So I walk up to a bush, shoot it, bam, I get shot from the right-hand side. 200 health or 200 shields goes down to about 80 or 90 shields, just in one shot.
Yeah.
It was a good
And I
shot,
know that he
though.
had a good sniper or something like that. Brought me down, I was like, oh shit, turn to the right. And about 6 shots, and I'm dead.
Okay.
So I lost a 1v1
shots.
as Thanos. Well, I was gonna prep my jump to get the fuck out of there because I didn't want anything.
But you
to
said
do
there's
with
like a
this.
slow delay with the jump, right?
Well, with the jump, there's a charge. So you hit the X button and you go into the squat mode, and then you take off or whatever. So as I'm doing that, and I'm dead. And so I lost the 1v1 as Thanos, classic choke job. And then I hopped back in a couple days later, and it was me, one other dude, and Thanos.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt before you tell
Yes,
this
please
story.
do.
Because the great thing about video games is that you have this story about the time you choked as Thanos. Out there somewhere in the world right now is this dude that has this awesome story about how he one-on-one took down Thanos at the end of the round. And Thanos was literally like crouching down for the super jump, and it'll be all over, and his last shot landed. Like, that's what makes games awesome.
And what he did is ran over to my dead body, picked up the gauntlet, and like started dancing and shit. Or no, I don't know if he picked it up, but he started dancing. Of course, he did the show off thing. But then the time that I finally beat him, it was me and 2 other dudes. One was Thanos.
Yeah.
And I was caught right in the center, and I'm in a bush hiding. Thanos is behind me, and there's a dude in front of me shooting at Thanos. They have no idea I'm in this bush. Thanos like runs by me several times, doesn't know I'm there. And I know, okay, this guy's taking down Thanos' life a lot. I'm going to go intercept, take out Thanos, get the gauntlet, take on this one dude. As soon as I'm about to intervene, the man shooting at Thanos jump pads away on top of a mountain to go take on Thanos himself. And I'm just like, oh fuck, I screwed up. This is where I should have taken advantage of the situation. I totally screwed up. So I try to jump pad after him. By the time I get there, the guy already killed Thanos, and he starts shooting at me, firing at me. And I build a wall, and I'm like, what do I do? This is a 1v1 situation. This guy's got me cornered. He has the high ground.
Oh, well, then we know from Anakin and Obi-Wan, it's over.
Exactly. But much to his dismay, Jared and Kevin Coelho, much to his dismay, he could have taken me on in a 1v1 just gunfight.
Yeah.
Because he was just leaving the gauntlet hanging out. But he decided, you know what? I'm going to pick up the gauntlet. Picked up the gauntlet, and the wall is getting tight. And he lands outside of the zone. And I'm in the zone just like, oh, dude, where's this guy at? Where's Thanos at? Thanos jumps, like lands, and I start shooting. I'm in panic mode. The wall takes both of us on, and I'm like, oh, the wall's gonna fucking kill me. Big chunks coming down since it's end game, and luckily the wall takes him out before it could take me out.
Oh.
Lucked the fuck out. I got so lucky. I won with 0 kills, and I think I'm at least rank 5 in the world now in Fortnite. So
5? Wow.
probably top 5. I'm thinking top 5. I mean,
Top
maybe
5?
3. I'll maybe go 3. Maybe to stretch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like Icarus, he flew too high.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
man,
I
that's
love
beautiful.
Harry Potter, dude.
Yeah, you gotta love. I love you so much. Oh my gosh! So that's been what you've been playing. What about
Yes.
you, Mr. Kevin Coelho?
So this week I've been playing a game that until midnight I wasn't allowed to talk about, but now my embargo is up, so I can tell you I've been playing State of Decay.
Woo!
Yeah, which is
Ah.
a game that initially not excited in the least, and then Greg Miller grabbed me and he said, "Kevin, you're gonna have to play State of Decay for two reasons. One, the embargo ends right when we do Gamescast.
Yeah.
And two, I know you're gonna like it." And that son of a bitch was right. 100%.
Expound.
So here's the thing. Do you like games or you all like there's no real reason to play it other than like just to play it? Where
Well,
it's like, yeah, there's no story. So it's just like, hey, here's a group of people, make sure they all survive. Here's a bunch of little things you need to do to make them all happy. Just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Man, it's just addicting to play.
Well, I think that is a perfect game for Kevin because it is sort of this inventory management, people management sort of thing. And I feel like that appeals to your taste quite a bit of like making sure all the fucking dots, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, you know?
That being said, it's permadeath.
Yeah.
And when my favorite character died, I immediately turned off the Xbox, haven't turned it back on.
Just
'cause
angry. Just
I'm
angry.
angry. Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
And he was tricked. He was tricked.
How was he tricked?
Oh, I was doing one of the like side quests to pick up another person, and she was like, "Oh, go and help me with this. Try to get my stuff back." And I was like, "Okay." And then you go into like this other little house with two other people, and you can talk to them. And it's like, do you want to be nice or mean? Do you want to threaten them or do you want to?
You damn coward, you fool.
It was I was trying to play it nice. I was trying to be like, hey, let's have a conversation about this. And they were like, oh yeah, here it is. Take the bag. I grab the bag. They all start shooting at me.
These are NPCs.
Yeah.
And you're
Okay.
betrayed.
I jump out the window, being like, get as much health as I can give myself. And then it's like, do I go back in or do I like run like the 15-minute walk back to my like house to switch characters? And I was like, I have quite a bit of health. I'm going to go in there and start shooting at them.
Oh.
And that was my mistake. That was the flaw.
You went back
right
in.
there.
The fatal flaw. So do you blame yourself for the death of your
Oh,
favorite
100%.
character?
I should have known from the beginning. I should have gone. I was just lazy. I didn't want to do the like 15-minute walk back home.
Yeah.
Because if I had done that, I could have picked up a couple other people and been like, hey, let's go. We'll handle this together.
Oh, that siren you're hearing, by the way, that's outside our window. That's not happening in your car right now. Unless there's actually a siren out there. But the one that's playing here is us.
Unless there's
Sorry
a
to
siren in
interrupt.
your vehicle.
Please continue.
It's a very fun game. I really enjoyed it. And I'm scared that if I turn it back on and come to terms with that guy being dead, that I'm going to become addicted to it and lose hours upon hours of my life. Because that is very much what it feels like.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
what else are you doing?
Huh?
What else are you doing?
What do you mean?
Like that you... Do you have other games you'd rather play, or you just don't want to get addicted?
I just
to where
have
you
a
would-
tendency to get addicted to games. If you remember the week and a half that I played Legend of Zelda, The Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
where it was like in a week and a half, I put in 110 hours or something, which is not like an okay amount to play something. So I'm worried that if I start playing in the next 2 weeks, I will just be like, that will be my life.
What is, for folks, obviously Greg's talked about this game a lot, and you mentioned it's resource management intense, but it's obviously on a spreadsheet. It's an action-oriented game. Briefly, can you give us a precis of what makes it perfect for you?
There's just something about like you're in this zombie wasteland with all these areas that you can walk around and explore and find what you need and like feel satisfaction that just gets me so like it gets me so in like a perfect spot where like someone will be like, oh, you'll go back to your house and it'll say like, oh, you're running low on food, and it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go find food at one of these abandoned homes, and like you walk around. The zombies aren't crazy or like too difficult to beat in like the early stages that I'm at right now. So it's fun to just have like a weapon and just kind of walk somewhere, take this like 10-minute walk where like zombies will come up and you just start beating them up.
Okay.
And you get to this place and you're looking around trying to see if you find food, but you also find gas and you're like, oh, I can't carry both these bags.
Yeah.
So it's
Gotta
like,
make a
okay,
choice.
I'm going to get the food because I know that's what people need now, but I'm coming back for the gas. And it's so satisfying.
So there's a sense of tension and accomplishment constantly.
Absolutely.
Is that the driver?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It is that tension that like makes me want to keep going and keep like building out my little house.
And you have a squad of how many people with you?
Well, I like to go by myself. Something about it makes me feel more like scared.
But like you mentioned how one of your guys died, so you could have switched to another character?
In your house, you keep expanding your houses in the areas that you
Little commune.
your safe houses, and as the game progresses, you can add more people. Like you have missions where like, do you want to be friendly or do you want to be a dick? If you're friendly, could be added to your crew. If you're a dick, they might become enemies.
Does that require you to bring back more stuff to feed everybody if more people come back with you? Okay.
Yeah.
So it requires more mouths to feed.
Yeah,
or whatever?
exactly.
Okay, interesting.
But also you're safer. And they're doing stuff and it gives you the ability to switch through more people.
Are there different roles? Are there like, is one guy a medic maybe, or one person because I'm thinking the thing I'm thinking of is Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain Mother Base, right? Like bringing back people, and this guy specializes in he's a cook, and this guy is a whatever, and I want to bolster my medical unit, so I'll bring back this dude.
I think so. I'm not sure. I didn't put like too much time into bringing in people in my group.
Yeah.
But like, there's like skills that you can give people, and I think that's where it more specializes.
I wondered if it was going to be like a Stormhold mechanic or a Suikoden 2 thing or a Mother Base situation or not. So that's interesting to hear.
But the game is fun, and just as a side note, I recently bought a new TV, and it's beautiful because I'm playing on the Xbox One X I'm sorry, One S. There it is, which does HDR even. Like it doesn't do 4K gaming, but it does do HDR still.
Yeah.
And like when I started playing, the little HDR thing blipped. It's not like the game isn't the prettiest game I've ever played, but certainly like because the HDR, the colors are so vivid, and I do enjoy playing it and seeing like the sun come up. It's a lot of fun.
So it's a very vivid color pop kind of game. For you. Yeah. That's
how many hours?
I want to say like 12.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't want you to stop playing this, right?
No, I don't want to stop playing it either, but I'm scared.
But like
I'm legitimately scared.
No, I think if you can portion control this game, I don't want you to stop playing it because
I'm not good at portion control, as you may have noticed. I'm not good at
I feel you.
That self-control I've never been great at. Cuz like if we have the one TV, but if I'm watching like playing a game on it, Paula will be like, "Oh, it's fine. I'll use my laptop." And then it's like, then I'm gone, Andy.
Oh, sure.
Then I'm gone forever.
She gave you the green light.
Yeah. And when Greg comes back, if he hits me up and says, "Let's play the multiplayer mode," I don't know, man.
That's where you'll get it back in. Because you with Monster Hunter, you...
Oh, man, there's a great game.
Yeah,
we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, we're going to have a little discussion around that here. Yes, today's topic, which we'll hop to in a second, I think if Monster Hunter doesn't come up, I'm going to be very surprised, both because I'm good at guessing and because I have the run of show in front of me. So both that makes. Anything else either of y'all been playing you want to talk about?
I mentioned Overwatch. That's about it. Been watching Overwatch League a lot. Overwatch League as a whole has brought me back in quite a bit.
Yeah.
To where I had kind of fallen off of Overwatch, and then having this sort of league where it is based on cities that are represented, and instead of like FaZe Clan and Team blah 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 and team like it's the Houston Outlaws, it's the Los Angeles Valley, when there are cities attached to it, that makes it feel much more real because I am such a sports fan.
That makes sense.
And so that got me back in really badly. So I played that quite a bit. I haven't played about a week though.
Who do you play for? What team?
The Dallas Fuel are my favorite team, and they're really bad.
Okay, but that's who you're there for.
Yeah.
Is it because they're the closest to
Dallas Cowboys?
Okay.
Like people are like, oh, why don't you root for the Houston Outlaws? They're good. Well, I don't like the Houston Texans. I don't like the Houston Rockets. I don't like a lot of Houston sports teams.
Who is your favorite your favorite sports mascot?
In everywhere?
In everywhere.
In everywhere.
Yeah, what's
the Syracuse Orange?
The Syracuse Orange? Just because they're a color?
Just a big. No, he's just a big orange guy.
Oh, just like the big orange.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Andy, I have a sports question.
Sure.
There's a team they're the Wizards, right?
Washington Wizards.
Do they have a wizard come out? Like a proper wizard?
I don't think so.
Like a dude with a beard?
I don't think
That's
so.
a goddamn shame.
There's no Merlin-looking dude.
I feel like there
that's
ought to
upsetting.
be. I feel like the
They're
Wizards ought to
absolute-
have like a Merlin. Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to be like a like plushy guy. Like,
no.
I want it to be like a real dude in like
no,
a cloak.
with like a big old
big old
like,
beard, big
and
old
a hat,
beard,
maybe a
a
crystal
wand.
in one hand and
Ooh,
like a
yes.
staff in the other.
Yeah.
He doesn't look anything like an anything. He's just a big blue man called G-Wiz.
Oh,
No,
so they do have a mascot.
G-Wiz. His name is
You get
G-Wiz.
some weird mascot. My
looks
my
like a Cookie
favorite
Monster.
mascot. I used to live near Nagoya in Japan, and the baseball team there's the Nagoya Dragons.
Oh,
Awesome mascot,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The dragon's it's a koala bear.
That happens a lot. Yeah.
That's really upsetting.
Like their mascot is a koala, and I would ask my friends about the koala. I was like the dragons. They're like, yeah, we love the dragons. I'm like, but he's a koala, and there's like, no, he's a doala. And I was like, what's
It's
a
dragon
doala?
mixed with the
It's
koala.
just that he is a koala, but he is also a dragon.
That's
that was how
upsetting.
people would
I
always
don't like
put it
that
in
one
English.
bit.
I was like, I don't
So
understand.
what's a
this.
dragon but also a koala?
I think also a doala. Yeah. So I'm not sure what that's all
Yeah,
about.
I think that works both ways. Real quick, the Raptors. Is there a team with Raptors?
They
Yeah.
come out with the Toronto Raptors.
Toronto
They
Raptors,
come
yeah.
out with the big fucking inflatable suits.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's
Excellent.
actually
Yeah,
a
yeah.
dinosaur.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually
Yeah, yeah.
a
Is
dinosaur.
this?
Yeah, that's the Dwella.
Yeah, that's
him.
100% just a blue koala.
That's just a blue.
Yeah,
That's
fucking-
really
I know.
upsetting.
Yeah, that's the Nagoya
Marsupial,
Dragons.
yeah.
The Nagoya Dragons mascot.
What a fraud.
Shout out to the Hickory Crawdads, my hometown, home of Conrad the Crawdad, which is absolutely
Conrad the
a
Crawdad.
giant crawdad in
It's a good
suit.
name.
Yeah, Conrad the Crawdad's great.
Jared,
Yeah.
what have you been playing this week?
Good question there, my friend Kevin. Well, as always, desert golfing, because how would we ever stop? Either you guys playing desert golfing yet?
No,
Negative.
but when you were talking to it with Tim about it, I really wanted to download it, and I would stop myself because again, addictive personality.
It is the best
Yeah.
$2 you will ever spend.
What did you say? It was 20,000.
It's
like,
something
different-
between 13 and 21,000 holes.
Depending
I can't
on-
get a
yeah.
solid answer on
You ever had
this.
some Flamin' Hot Fries? It's a pretty good $2. Right
What's
there.
that? That's a good.
Flamin' Hot Fries.
He's right, and
Yeah.
that's like $1.65.
But
Yeah.
imagine
Depending on
if
taxes.
you got like 13 to 21,000 orders for $2 of Flamin' Hot Fries.
That'd
Now
be
we're
too
talking.
many. That'd be too
Yeah.
many. They'd
I'm
go stale.
listening.
A lot of best friends are playing desert golfing. I'm not going to go off on it again, but I am playing that. Red Dead, of course, because I'm doing Red Dead Radio. So going back playing through, that's been fun. Love playing through Red Dead again.
Quick question about Red Dead.
What's that?
Is it being re-released on something?
Well, it has been re-released
On Xbox One X.
Xbox One X with backward compatibility and upgraded graphics.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're playing on One X, it's prettier.
You can
than it
play in
used to be.
4K.
But it is not a new version of the game. It is a 4K version of.
But as far as we know, there's no new version coming out.
not that I'm aware of.
That's
no,
a damn
no.
shame.
But it's backward compatible, and you can
Sure,
go play it
sure.
right now. And it honestly, I'm still a really good looking game.
What does that mean if you never bought it on Xbox?
Well, if you never bought it on an Xbox or a PS3, then
What do
those
you
are the
mean?
only two places you can
Well,
play.
can I somehow buy it now and then play it on Xbox?
Yeah, you can still
Oh,
buy
you
games.
just go into the store?
Yeah, you can still buy games.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Hmm.
I just went out and I didn't have my disc anymore, so I went and bought a disc. But my understanding is you can just buy it in the store.
Tight.
Sorry, Andy. I didn't
It's
mean
so
to-
weird. I don't like as much as I remember loving Red Dead. I don't remember much of it.
Oh man, Red Dead's such a
Like
good game.
I don't know why. Like Grand Theft Auto, I remember a lot of those key sort of plot moments, but in Red Dead, I remember Mexico.
That was
and I
really
remember
late
the
in
end.
the game too.
The
Yeah.
end of it. Like as much fun as I had, as many hours as I poured in, I just only really remember the end and like thinking that John Marston was going to be like, I thought he was going to be a little slut. I thought he was going to be having sex with a lot of women.
Jesus.
But no, he's a good family man.
Yeah, he's a
So
family
like,
man.
coming from Grand Theft Auto, the whole vibe there,
Yeah.
ladies man sort of like, oh, I'm a degenerate. John Marston, good dude.
Yeah,
That's
he
really
is.
all I remember. about
And
it.
well, that's actually then you probably remember more than you think you do. The thing that I forgot, and it's becoming apparent to me right now, is that there's all this stuff about John in that game that I forgot I never knew. Like when you meet John Marston, you know nothing
Oh, yeah.
about him.
Man,
You are
yeah.
playing this guy, and you don't know who you are. Some dudes like push you on a train. You get off, you ride up a hill, and a dude shoots you. And you're just like, who am I and what is going? And you learn all that background in the course of these missions. The cutscenes are so well done because they're only like 3 minutes long, and they're often on horseback riding. And so you're just picking this up organically as you're doing things you would do anyway to finish the game. It's really well designed. And likewise, you'll pick up little when you're playing cards, you just hear stuff in the other room, and it'll have to do with the game. Like it's really clever. So I like that part. But when it comes to newer stuff, I've been busy. First off, because a best friend asked about it, I've been playing Kitten Squad.
Oh, dear. Is that any good?
No, it's not. It's not
Where is it?
egregious either. So Kitten Squad is on Switch. It's a free game by PETA. You're right. Okay, Kevin's dying. Kevin may die. In the meantime, apparently Kitten Squad had a real effect on Kevin. Very wordy. Now, Kitten Squad's a game by PETA. It's about. Have you seen this?
I have not. I know nothing about it. You know why? Because I haven't turned on my Switch in so long.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
been that long?
It's this weird thing because I started this whole streaming thing and I don't really know how to get audio correctly out of the Switch.
Oh.
Because of the setup that I have, it's kind of odd, right? And it works perfectly with my PS4 and I don't want to really mess with it outside of that.
Yeah.
So I haven't really picked up my Switch in a long time. The next time I'll probably pick it up is when the Mario Tennis Aces demo pops up.
Coming for that's almost here.
Yeah,
that beta
very
is
excited about
very,
that.
very close. I'm very excited about that
It's
as well.
exciting
Can't
stuff.
wait to
So
play it.
Kitten Squad Brigade.
Yeah,
or
so
what-
Kitten Squad is a game that a best friend brought up on Games Daily, and they asked about, hey, why is this game on the store? Because it's free.
I remember what this game looks like now.
and
Yeah.
it's PETA, I think, People for the Ethical Treatment of
Yes.
Animals. But it does open.
No, it's really made by PETA.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about you coughing.
Oh, I'm back. I beat it, guys. It was close though. I felt the end. Everything got dark for a second. I was like, oh god.
It's like in a video game where you're about to die, it just starts to fade in.
I hiccuped water
The world gets desaturated.
and it went down the wrong tube and it got real scary.
I'm
real
sincerely
scary.
glad you didn't die.
Yeah.
Good. I would have been fun.
No, it's the cutscenes are about animals being treated in cruel or unkind or unthoughtful ways, and it's very much from the perspective of a group that's very protective of the rights of animals and concerned about their well-being and safety. So it starts with you rescuing an orca that's being held in a theme park against its will, and it does show a very graphic cutscene depiction of another orca, this orca new, committing suicide by hitting its head against the wall of the cage and bleeding out, and then it suddenly becomes
Is it 3D or
and no? Well, these cutscenes are painted kind of pastel style.
Okay.
The game itself is just a simple, fairly rudimentary twin stick shooter. It's fine. It's competent.
is it twin stick shooter?
Yeah, it's a twin stick shooter where you're playing. You're going screen to screen. This little cat shooting robots.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's free.
Wait, why are you shooting the robots?
Because you can go rescue the
So the
orca
robots are the
that's
bad
being
guys?
held, and yeah, the robots.
Of course,
are,
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
PETA's secret agenda to get robots out of here.
yeah, it's like some robots, and you have it. I mean, the weapon variety's fine. It's free, but the person asked, "Hey, what about the messaging here? Is this something Nintendo even looked at when they put it in their online store? You know, because it is bloody and it is kind of visceral. And if I was a kid and I downloaded this free game with this cute little kitty cat on the cover, and I immediately see like a whale kill itself, I would be thrown. What are your thoughts on that?
So you think maybe we're starting to see this Android App Store sort of thing going on where things are leaking through the cracks, possibly?
I think that somebody looked at this. I don't think Nintendo's quality control just let this slip through. No, I think that they just decided that it met their guidelines and stipulations, and they were okay with that. The question from that we got on Games Daily was, hey, is this kind of the future of the store? And I don't think that this was some kind of accident. I do think they played the game. It's not gratuitous. The violence,
And it is playable, right? It does work as a game.
does. Oh yeah, it works very well as a
I
game.
mean-
It's quite well done.
Doom is on the store. I don't see why.
Yeah.
That's
like
where-
violence in games shouldn't Nintendo hasn't had a maybe they're not going to promote it.
Yeah.
But like it's fine if like a game is violent and like the underlying like it has a message. It's not just violence for violence sakes.
It's a game with a political agenda that presents that agenda straightforwardly within, I believe, the parameters and Nintendo's community guidelines. So, in my opinion, while it's not a game that I enjoyed, and it's not even, I think that some of the anthropomorphization of animals and animal rights advocacy can be controversial in and of itself. And I think there are some points that are made there that there are counterpoints to that also need to be discussed.
Right.
I do think cruelty to animals is terrible.
What's the game
obviously.
rated?
I did not look at the rating. That's my own fault.
I mean it must be rated like mature, right?
I mean, if we're underrated, that would be the ESRB, though, not Nintendo.
Right,
So
right.
I don't have an answer for that. But yeah, it works. I don't recommend anyone play it because it's not fun.
Sure.
But it doesn't actually have an egregious agenda. It's. I think I'd rather play Space Cats with lasers when it comes to twin stick cat shooters on my Switch.
Kevin, not a big fan of the twin stick.
Oh no, I'm not.
Not a twin stick guy.
Yeah, no. I can't wrap my head around the mechanics of aiming while also moving. I just something about it. Not in like
it's
a
like rubbing
flat,
your belly and tapping your head. At the same
it doesn't
time.
make any sense to me. We played a game recently where you can't see your character. Mm-hmm. Impossible for me to play it.
Oh, okay.
At sundown. You ever heard
At
this
sundown.
game?
Cool game.
I've heard of this.
Yeah,
I've heard
great
of this.
concept.
Yeah.
I'm just real bad at. Like I essentially wasn't moving the right stick at all. So if someone happened to be in the direction I was aiming, perfect.
I've fooled around a little bit with a game that I'm trying to make. Probably will never finish. It's called Shoot Man. Mm-hmm. And Shoot Man is a one-stick shooter.
Jump and shoot, man.
And so the way Shoot Man works is he has a gun that has tremendous recoil and it fires automatically. It never runs out of ammo. And so whichever way you shoot, he gets pushed the other way while you're shooting. If he aims it at the ground, he can fly by shooting at the ground. So you aim where you want to shoot, and he always moves the opposite direction.
Have you heard of that game? That reminds the physics element of being pushed away.
Yeah.
It reminds you of this game that came. I think it's sort of early in development, but it's a battle royale game in an office setting where you are sitting on desk chairs with wheels, and in order to maneuver, you have to point in the direction where you like. So the shot pushes you away.
Okay, no, I've never seen this.
Turn around. It's this office. It looks like any middle of America office where everybody's in suits and ties and stuff working, but it's a battle royale game. I don't remember what it's called.
Rolling around on desk chairs.
I'm going to look it up,
it's
but
very
it's
clever.
But yeah, you're not moving like normally. You are shooting to propel yourself and then turning and shooting.
That's what I was playing with in this, except in a 2D platformer space. And I'm sure, we've had other games where you shoot to propel. Like, it's not a new idea.
Right.
I just like the idea of that being the only way to move. I think that could be a fun
Last
thing
Man Sitting is the name of this.
That's really clever.
So Gama's, yeah.
What does it
yeah.
look like?
It's really clever. I want to
Battle
play it.
Royale type game. It's so there's a little clip.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
don't
love
really know what the
that.
clip will play
Somebody
or not.
tell us how that is. I'd love to know if anybody's played it. Then I actually played one.
That looks insane. You seeing this?
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
really clever. That's
Little fire
kinda
extinguisher
hilarious.
too.
Yeah, blow yourself
Pretty
across.
cool.
And then a couple of quick, actual good or interesting games I played this week. We were on Games Daily and the other day, and Tim and I were making fun of something called Walden, a game. We saw it on the release this day list, and we're like, wow, that's a hilarious name for a game. And I joked it might be a Henry David Thoreau simulator. Someone wrote in and was like, no, seriously, it is a Henry David Thoreau simulator. And then the one of the folks that worked on the game contacted me, so I played it. It's a game about being Henry David Thoreau at Walden Pond.
Fascinating.
Have you ever read Walden?
No.
You familiar with it?
I know the name Henry David Thoreau. I don't know anything about it.
Kevin, have you ever read it, or are you familiar with it?
I don't believe in reading.
All right, so Thoreau was this guy in the 19th century. He was one of the Transcendentalists. He hung out with Ralph Waldo Emerson and people like that. And he was a writer, and he was kind of I think it was Garrison Keillor called him the original hippie. He was like, hey, I want to experience life.
I don't like this kid.
So he moved out to the woods near the little town of Concord, Massachusetts, and he just lived in a little house that he built himself, and he kept a bean garden. He's like, I'm just going to live out here by this little pond and write about everything that happens to me. And he did that for a long time, like growing his own food and living this quiet life in nature. And he'd walk into town every now and then, and that's what the game's about.
Huh.
It's a kind of undirected walking sim-ish game, but it's got this really clever hook that I like. The game is a living version of the book, taken out of order. So this book is a very well-written, interesting piece of writing. It's not that long. Everything you look at, everything you interact with in this game that is nonlinear goes into your journal. And the thing that you learn from reading it or interacting with it is a quote from Thoreau. It's part of the book. Every day you review your journal and you discover you are writing the book, Walden, as you play. But you're not doing it in order. You're doing it in order according to how you're playing. So it's all these snippets of Thoreau that happen, and they all happened to you, just like they happened to him.
Wow.
And so you're actually, because you have agency, you're experiencing them, you're making them happen. you feel like it happened to you. And it's more real. I've never seen that in a game.
Is it a PC game? I'm sorry.
I'm playing it on
Steam?
PS4.
PS4. Okay. Wow. That does not sound like a console game.
Yeah. I think it's available on PC. I'd be shocked if it's not. It's
Yeah.
the first game I've ever played that has a National Endowment for the Humanities video before you start it, because it was part of that. Yeah, the University of Southern California was part of creating it.
Oh, you think like the student program was?
I think that this was sponsored. I don't think it was all the student program. I think it came out of that. I don't know now I'm being ignorant here. A lot of people worked on it. I watched the credits.
You beat it?
Huh? No. You can watch the credits from the beginning. I haven't decided if it's like a great game yet, but it's definitely really interesting and does some things I haven't seen before. It's also very much a walking sim where, they kind of remind you of. It almost feels like you're playing like a CD game from 1991 where it's like, and then a voice talked and you're doing this. And at first you're like, this is going to be awful, but it's not. It goes the extra mile to make you feel like you were really a part of what's happening.
Can you dual wield weapons?
Not that I've encountered yet.
Shit.
No, I haven't been.
I'm out, man.
I picked up an axe the other day. I don't know if that counts.
Did you throw it?
Huh?
Did you throw it?
No, I
afterwards?
didn't throw it at anything. I met Henry David Thoreau, and I've been to Concord now. I'm walking around town there.
Great.
Final little bit, a really good game that didn't get enough love the first time. Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redo is out. Either you guys ever play Persona, any of the Megaten games?
Negative.
Wow. Okay, so I'm just rambling here, and we're going to
Ramble
end this
away.
part.
I'm listening, Jared.
Yeah.
I am listening.
Strange Journey, which was a DS game, is one of those like best games no one's ever played games. It is a monumentally well done, crunchy Persona style RPG by the same folks that did Persona. Same universe, Megaten. It is technically a spin-off title, but it's actually good enough that it should have been like a mainline Shin Megami Tensei game. It came out at just the wrong
Is my
time.
phone playing?
Yeah, something's playing. Is that
Yeah.
That
one?
was very good. Yeah, fucking.
was freaking me out, man.
YouTube is on.
Oh,
me
okay,
out.
there we go.
I thought it was your. I was very confused. Sorry about that.
So Atlas released that for the DS. It's an Atlas RPG and therefore good, but it's better even than most Atlas RPGs. My sale on this is that imagine you're playing Persona, but instead of it being about high school students and in-school melodrama, it's about adults and they're on an expedition to Antarctica. It's all like adult characters and kind of more grown-up themes and a weird militaristic scientific expedition vibe to it. A little bit The Thing, a little bit military, and then also that weird Shin Megami Tensei Persona demon summoning oddness to it.
When did it come out?
The original one came out around 2009 or 10, I think, Strange Journey, and the remake came out just a couple of days ago. It's on 3DS, which is, again...
It's unfortunate.
It's an Atlas game for DS and therefore worth buying. It's better than most of those, and most of those are really good. I love Strange Journey. Redo, I've been playing it a lot. It's really cool. Obviously, I'd love to see it on Switch, but porting games to Switch isn't trivial, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. So my advice is don't sleep on this. If you like a good, long, hard, fun RPG where you can experiment and try different things, it's great.
How, when you say remake, are we talking visual sort of?
Visual overhaul and some rounding around the edges. I think they just kind of went, I haven't gotten deep enough in to see all the changes yet. I think it's more just a matter of most people never got to play this before. And so I haven't gotten deep enough to find out how much smoothing went on. There's certainly things you could have made better in the original. There are some differences I've noticed already, but I haven't seen a tremendous amount. It's kind of like when the Etrian Odyssey updates happened on DS to 3DS. Did you ever see any of those?
Negative.
Same deal. They found ways to like kind of smooth some of the lumps out in the progress of the game, and in these already near perfect games, just polished to a perfect sheen.
I hear a lot of people talking about these damn Atlas RPGs, Jared.
Lots of people.
I've never been a JRPG fan.
Neither
I could never
have
get
I.
into them. I think what broke me early on was some of the older Final Fantasy games.
Okay.
Where I knew from the get-go this style is not for me. And then I remember trying to play Vagrant Story on PS1. And that's another game that I just like. I just can't do it. These games are not for me. The style's not for me. I much prefer sort of more real-time stuff. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, try this Final Fantasy game. It's not turn-based. It's got kind of this battle. Like, okay, it's still not for me, guys. Still not for me. And I think the only one that I ever really cared for, the only RPG that I ever really cared for that was turn-based was Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Pokemon did it for you.
For some reason.
That's it.
Don't know what it is.
I'm in the same boat.
Don't
But
know what it was.
Pokemon, not a JRPG, or does it?
I mean,
Pokemon's JRPG.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see, just for me, like I never realized it was an RPG at all till way later, where like Tim was like, "Oh, that's an RPG." And it's
I feel like
it's-
RPG is such a loose term
Right.
nowadays,
Yeah.
but
like in my mind,
turn-based.
yeah,
Yeah,
turn-based
turn-based.
RPG, yeah.
Okay, so you want to play a turn-based? Again,
turn-based is the word that scares me.
Well,
Me
that's
too.
two
Slow.
words.
It makes it slow.
Here's-
But for some reason, Pokemon totally fine.
Yeah, I don't know
totally
why.
on board for that.
So where Megaten and Pokemon share an ancestry that almost no other role-playing game does is that Megaten is all about collecting creatures, allies, and then merging them together to make better ones. Very much like Megaten is Pokemon for, and I'm not saying this in a derisive way, but I've heard this said before. Megaten is Pokemon for grown-ups.
Sure, yeah.
Pokemon is also for grown-ups.
I've
So I'm
never
not
seen
trying to take
myself
away
as a
from that.
grown-up.
But Megaten is very much that same kind of, I found something. Okay, now I found something else. Now I found somebody else, a new ally. Ooh, this one's more optimal. Mix them together, optimize them more, build my party around the kind of allies I want.
How are you spelling Megaten, by the way?
Shin Megami Tensei.
Shin Megami
And then
Tensei.
Megaten is Megaten. Which
Okay,
is
I wasn't
abbreviation.
sure.
That crammed together. Yeah,
Wasn't sure.
that's the whole Persona universe. is
Right,
Megaten.
right.
It's a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
words there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shin means new, and Megami Tensei means Saga of Venus. Like it has to do with
You
an
know.
old Nintendo
Yeah.
game from
Wacky
goes all the way
stuff,
back to the Famicom.
Lots of wacky stuff.
The Famicom, of course.
What is
Yeah.
I'm thinking of another sort of Japanese franchise that is super popular, and it's very there's always it's hard even describing what the titles sound like, but it's blah 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 new word, blah 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 different word, blah blah, like every title. I guess
There's a lot of that in JRPGs. Yes.
Yeah, but I can't think of it because it's the only one that's sort of, when I saw my friends playing it, I realized, oh, this is not, yes, this is very encounter based, but when you're in the encounter, you are in a real time, you are dodging, you are slashing, you are magic spelling.
Didn't they do that with
I know you know it.
You get a
Final
lot of that.
Fantasy?
No,
You
no.
get that with like
Final Fantasy?
Xenoblade Chronicles, or pardon me, Last Story's like that. I think Xenoblade Chronicles is like that. Crisis Core is
I
like
know
that.
you can fucking rattle off these JRPGs, Jared. I'm going to need you to do that.
I'm trying here. Yes, there's a
Keep
lot
going,
of
Jared.
The problem
Keep
is there's
spin
just
them out.
yeah, maybe for the sake of
it's
our
a very
listeners.
popular franchise. Pretty popular
Final
franchise.
Fantasy Crisis Core, is that what
It's,
you're
it's
getting at?
not a Final Fantasy franchise.
Okay, is it a
whatsoever.
Dragon Quest game?
Not a Dragon Quest game.
Okay, is it a
We're close, I can
Tales
feel it.
of?
Yes.
Okay, it's one of
It
the
is
Tales
a Tales
games.
game.
One of the
Yes.
Tales games.
Tales
okay.
game.
When
Yeah.
I saw the comment in the Tales games, I was like, you know what? This could be it for me.
Tales of Symphonia. Is
Yeah,
that the
like
one you're talking
all
about?
of them. The Suspiria. All
Yeah,
that's
Tales
not
of
it.
Symphonia.
So many.
I would totally
The
play
cla-
Tales of Suspiria.
The classic Daria Argento.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
What a great game that
Yeah.
would be. No, Tales of Symphonia has like a fighting game style
Right.
combat to it. So
and
yeah.
that to me initially when I see the cover art, I immediately judge the book by the cover. I'm like, this is a JRPG that is turn based, and I'm not gonna like it. And I saw my friends playing it. My friend Caesar and Matt, shout out to Caesar and Matt. So you know what? This might be for me, Jared.
Yeah, there's
Might be for me.
a lot of good action-based RPGs like that. Last Story again falls under that. Xenoblade to a point feels that way. There's some others. Really, even some of the turn-based Dragon Quests don't feel as turn-based. But now I'm doing the thing where we say it's not turn-based, but it is. So
Yeah,
I gotta be
totally.
careful.
Yeah.
Got to be careful around that. But there's plenty of good action RPGs. We should maybe do an episode. You play Secret of Mana?
No.
That's like
Negative.
playing Zelda with a friend. That's like two-player Zelda.
Really?
Yeah, it's like playing Link to the Past with two people.
It was, back in the day, again, I've said this on many a show where my gaming history is not big because you could only afford the one game for several months, So for me, like, it was Zelda or Secret of Mana or Zelda and like I always just ended up going with Zelda.
Well, Zelda is, I think, superior in most cases, but
Sure.
Secret of Mana, if you have a second player, is spectacular. That's the key. Is you want to play it with a friend, and it's on the SNES Mini, so you can go back and try it easily. Just
Interesting.
at two controllers. So if you like Pokemon or Persona or crunchy RPGs with deep systems, Shin Megami Tensei,
The game for you?
Strange Journey, game for you. I think that's enough of what I've been playing because I talked way too long there. Imagine that.
That was a long what you've been playing segment.
It was long.
Which I
We've been playing a lot of
appreciate it.
games. We've been playing a lot there. But the real headline of the day, what
ready.
the people have come here for, my friends.
Super stoked.
Yeah. Kevin and Andy. I was hoping I get a confused look there, but it didn't work.
No.
I looked at Andy and said Kevin. I looked at Kevin and said Andy, but no.
I was expecting my name to follow.
I was hoping for a comment. No.
I'm a professional, Jared. I'm never rattled, man. You can never rattle me.
Kevin and Andy and Kevin, your games of the year, games of 2018 so far. I want to know, the people want to know what these games are. What are the best games you've played this year? Let's start with Andy.
I mean, there's no question. It's God of War.
Right away? No question?
No question.
I mean,
what are the contenders?
have you played Monster Hunter?
I played Monster Hunter.
Oh, hey, there's a game. You know what I mean?
It's a fun game. I have no problem with Monster Hunter. It's just it didn't grab me like it did everybody else.
Sure.
And that's saying something because it.
You didn't want it to grab you, bro.
No, but here's the funny thing about saying like, the game just didn't grab me as much as other people when I still put in fucking like 40 hours into Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
It has that carrot on the end of the stick where you want to fight the next thing to get that next. It's a very there's a lot of gratification in getting that next piece to build up your next armor set, But I think God of the War could possibly be like game of the generation type game.
Wow.
Where it just does everything flawlessly, in my opinion, on a storytelling level, on a level design level, art, narration, acting, it's just combat. There's the thing that I felt about God of War was like, to me, it was a Naughty Dog game where I absolutely loved the combat. Where in Uncharted games and in The Last of Us, never loved the combat. I always enjoyed it, but it was nothing that I ever craved for more. With Naughty Dog games, I always feel like I was going from cutscene to cutscene where I wanted to see the next story beat, right? So sure, I'll take down these 3 guys and I'll shoot that person or I'll beat that clicker or whatever the hell, But in God of War, it's like I am running around this world looking for conflict. I want to fight things.
The fighting in that game definitely, like, I remember the first big battle you have against the stranger. It was a hard battle and it took time, but when I finished, I was like, it really is that moment of I am the God of War. Yeah. And then later, when you get certain weapons, you're like, oh my God, this feels so right. And it's just where fighting can be a lot of fun. But I feel like God of War has some places where it's like, how is this game so damn difficult? Like when you're doing some of the side quests, like post-game stuff.
Well, I mean,
and it's just like, this is absurd. Like there's certain enemies that I was only able to beat because there was this little 2 stones with one in the middle. You have to jump over and that's where you can start fighting the guy. But if you just engage him from the outside, you can still fight him. And it limits what his moveset is because there's a bar that he can't cross. So like that was the only reason it was a stone something spirit, maybe stone golem, one of those big rock monsters.
Right.
And it was one of those things like if he hit me once, my health bar went down to like 20%, and that second time dead.
Well, because that's an armor thing. That's
I got good armor.
That's you not having upgraded everything possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you sure you have the right gear for that? But that's kind of a Metroidvania gear, right?
Sure.
When you go in and you get your butt kicked, and you're like, I'm not supposed to be here yet.
Yeah,
totally wrong area for
That's
this.
what I'm saying. I initially fought him in the maybe 30% through the game, and then I came back after I beaten the game, and I had significantly better armor, still beating the crap out of me.
You just gotta get good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But a fun game, nonetheless.
I mean, it is hard. It has some really crazy difficulty spikes, but nothing to which, I don't think it's anything as bad as Wolfenstein 2 last year. This game, I think.
Whatever do you mean?
This game, I think, is still beatable. I think looking on the internet and seeing a lot of people platinum it.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not saying it's unbeatable.
Yeah.
I'm just saying sometimes I walk in there and it's like, man, this is stealing the fun a little bit. From this moment. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I could see that. But I mean, I still think the game is one of the most perfect games we'll see in a long time.
Now, so you brought up Monster Hunter. You brought up God of War. What would be the
What other
the
2018
third
releases are there?
2018 pillar on this trifecta?
Shoot,
What would be
I
the
don't know.
last one?
Because the games that I play constantly are Fortnite and Overwatch, and these
Okay.
are games that are many a year old. Where Battle Royale started last year.
So you're playing a lot of old games, but is there anything else that jumps out for you? You played this year, be noteworthy.
I'd say I got 80% of the way through Far Cry 5, and I enjoyed it. Not a game of the year to me, though.
Just
Yeah.
doesn't feel that
Yeah.
way.
I
to you?
think it's the way. I think the way that game opens up is one of the best openings in any video game I've ever played. The intro plane scene with getting Joseph Seed on the plane, like that whole vibe is just something that I absolutely adore. Very, when this game was coming out, it had these very weird sort of religious True Detective vibes that I just love. I love that sort of evil, that sort of evilness, and the thing that John Seed was, when he's looking at you in the camera and he's like looking into the fucking camera and he's right here and he's singing to you and he's like, I told you God didn't want me to leave. And then he gets out of the plane. Turns out it was all just, like, it's just one of the best openings ever. The gameplay still is super fun.
Yeah.
It is rewarding, and it's a blast to just run through and just shoot shit and make things explode. And it's kind of just that open world, mindless, just cause sort of open world fun. I don't think the story is super strong, but I still had a blast with it.
Did you play Celeste?
I did, yeah.
Where do you fall in Celeste? Because that's a game that's been in a lot of discussion.
A game that I never beat either. I think I just need the final thing, the final chapter.
Yeah.
I think I got 5 out of there's 6, I believe, right? 6 chapters, I think.
So, yeah. If I remember
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I think there's 5 or 6. I need one more to beat it. I think it's genius level design. I think this is like a game that you could show up-and-coming game developers and say, this is how you design levels, whether it be 2D or whatever, right? But teaching mechanics early on, it's sort of like textbook level design stuff. And I think it's beautifully made, and I think it's got a really charming story to it. But I still don't... I was never blown away by it, I don't feel. And I may be alone
So
in
that wasn't a Game of the Year contender for you?
I don't think so, no. I mean, I swear to you, I think God of War ruined games for me this year.
Okay.
Like, Red Dead's going to have to do something incredible for me to put it above God of War.
How excited are you for Spider-Man in that same vein?
Oh, fucking shit, yeah. Now, the thing that I feel that Spider-Man's going to have on its side is the fanboyism of Spider-Man. So, like, regardless of whether it's a good or a great game, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, that's definitely going to bring the rankings up in a lot of people's opinions. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure the game's going to be incredible. I don't know if it could stack up on an emotional storytelling level with God of War. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
All right. So it seems pretty clear that God of War is your pick up to this point this year.
No question.
Looking forward, you mentioned Red Dead. Anything else on the horizon that you think might be a threat?
I'm looking here.
Anything out there in the
There's
distance?
a lot of stuff this year.
I can't talk about Detroit.
Yeah.
But like, if you could, do you think it'd be on this list?
Let's not say that.
Definitely can't do
Yeah,
that.
look at him.
hypothetically.
No, let's not do that.
I have a
I'm
feeling.
just kidding.
I have a feeling that I'm going to get incredibly addicted to Mario Tennis Aces. I'm so looking forward to that game.
What about Smash? Is that a game that, like, in years previous you've loved?
I don't know why. That's a game. Smash, along with sports games, aren't games that I can ever put into like a top. For some dumb reason, which makes no sense, because when it was the year of Overwatch, it's like that's the game of the year. That game, like, obviously did what Team Fortress did and made it even better and made it accessible and made it fun and created characters that we all care about and are now incredibly popular. But when it comes to games like Smash or, NBA 2K or whatever, like, I could never see those as games of the year. And I that's probably not, the right choice, but I don't know why. I feel like because they're so iterative.
Maybe something pops out and I mean, I lived through a world where Street Fighter 2 was a world-changing video game. But it was still Street Fighter 2. It was a sequel. Like, somebody had done that formula many times before, and we were all kind of shocked that it was as good. It was like again, kind of like God of War, it was like there was before and after this moment.
Right.
There were fighting games before Street Fighter 2, and they weren't anything like what had to come after because it changed everything. And I think that's a lot of what we get. Kevin, your contenders for 2018.
My contenders for 2018. I think I only have 2, but I do want to give shout outs to State of Decay because I'm legitimately afraid I will lose my life to it.
So what? Okay, they're giving a shout out to it. So was that not a contender? Then?
It's not a contender.
Why not?
Because I'm scared and I don't think I'm going to play anymore.
No, Kevin.
I'm scared.
Are you
man.
saying that it's not a contender because maybe it lacks, lacks storytelling wise, or there's maybe not great?
But that's the thing. It doesn't
mechanics?
have the storytelling in it, or like it has little stories in it, and that's so good. I enjoy those so much. Maybe as much as I would enjoy.
You mean that's all you need, kind of?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see.
Turns out when you boil it down, it's all you need. Like visually, it's not the most stunning game, and there are things that are much prettier.
It does look like
Yeah.
a fairly dated game.
Yeah, it does. But
some games are better without a story. I mean, some just are. I love storytelling in games, but sometimes storytelling minimalism serves the game.
So I want to give a shout outs because I feel in my bones that if I played more, it would be on this list.
Okay.
But I'm afraid of it. So
it could become a contender.
Perhaps.
A challenger appears. We're going to say that?
I don't know if we're in the stage yet. He's definitely in the dressing room getting ready. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, my contenders for this year, definitely God of War. I mean, that's an easy pick. But then Monster Hunter World. Oh, man. Did not expect to like this game at all. Same deal. Greg Miller looked at me. He said, I want you to play this game with me. And I was like, I'm in, buddy.
Now, I don't know your Monster Hunter history, Kevin.
None.
None before.
None.
So World?
Zero. Nothing. World
Same
is
for
my
me.
is my starting point.
Okay, so you guys both played a lot of it, but before this, nothing. Why was there no interest before, and what changed?
Well, what was it on before?
Well, before
3DS
this,
and DS.
3DS, then Wii, PSP, and PS2.
Oh, no DS. Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
So, for me, when it was on PS2, I had no idea. Didn't hear it. Seemed like one of those games that I look at the cover and be like, that looks cool. I'm never gonna get into that.
Yeah, this is the first one that broke
and
through
then-
in American. this is the first one that
Really
broke through to the Western crowd. I feel where you hear whispers around the industry of like a guy that
There's certain people that
a
work
guy
at
on
certain
YouTube
places
I
where
watch
they,
a lot.
love it.
Aaron from the Game Grumps. He's been a Monster Hunter fan forever, and I've heard him talk about it for years since I've been watching his content. And it was just a game that I thought, oh, this is some obscure Japanese game that I'll probably never play or never even see in a store.
And here comes World.
So why did you go? Why was your response to that? I don't think I'll ever play that.
Because the vibe that it put out was that you and your friends on your 3DSs needed to hunt monsters.
Yeah.
And that seemed like the bridge that I was not willing to take.
Yep.
It reminds me of system linking on Game Boys. Like, oh, that's cool in theory, but how am I going to fuck? Where do I even
How
go
much
get
does that cable cost?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, then the follow-up then for both of you, what changed? What did it? What made
Well,
it
it
happen?
was very much Greg Miller being like, play this game with me. I think that given time, you're gonna like it. And then I was like, all right, I'll dedicate a couple hours to it, and I did. And initially, I was like, I don't know, this is for me. And he was like, let's hop online, and that's how you got me.
Yeah.
Because when you have someone that like understands the mechanics, I was like, hey, I don't know what to do with this, and he's like, save it, you can sell it later, or make sure you're eating this, or before we go hunt, we'll have to eat. I never did that before him.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I've picked up so much knowledge, and then we played with people that are even more experienced, best friends out there.
Yeah.
Steve.
Good old Steve. Yeah, there you go.
Steve, man.
Steve,
level.
my God. Yeah.
Insane.
Super high level.
Oh yeah.
And one of my favorite things was playing with these people and asking them questions as we were going. Because I like to get knowledge, I like to learn stuff. And it was very much like, there's so much that I could learn in that game. And once I beat the story, that is another point where I was like, that needs to be enough for you, Kevin. Draw the line there.
That has always been part of the kind of metatextual narrative of Monster Hunter, is it is a game about friends teaching friends. I have a buddy, Strawfoot, who's a
Good old Strawfoot.
Yeah, good old Strawfoot.
I've heard of Strawfoot.
Yeah, Strawfoot's
You mentioned
he's
him.
a Monster Hunter dude, and that's kind of what he does is a lot of good YouTube stuff, a lot of good lore videos about Monster Hunter, but it's largely about instruction. I mean, that's why it works so well in the modern world on YouTube, I think, is that it's largely about showing people how to do things, demonstrating, passing knowledge on, helping somebody out, and then you being like, I had so much fun doing this, I want to help another person do the same thing.
And 100%. It's so satisfying when you're playing with someone who's like, oh, I'm new to this. And it's like, well, if you rearrange your inventory like this, it makes it easier to do that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, and like, do you know how to load out? Let me teach you about loadouts. You know, it is very satisfying. Where it loses points, I think, to God of War is the fact that like the way I was playing it, I think affected how much I like it in the sense that I did not give a damn about the story. Not even a little bit. Just
I can't really even tell you what happened.
anything that was going on.
You're
because,
chasing the big Zora Magdaros.
right.
And just because they said that name
So many
83 times.
Yeah. For me, it was playing online with Greg, and he'd usually be a couple hours ahead of me, and he would help me on my quest, which meant I had to start. I don't know why they did this. I wish they had done this a little differently. When you do a quest with someone, if you haven't seen the cutscenes, they can't join your quest yet.
Right.
So you would kind of have to, as quickly as possible, try to skip through the quest, the cutscenes, so that could open up, and then you could come out, restart the quest, and then invite your friends. And that was always a hassle and ensured that I didn't give a damn about the story. So I didn't watch any of the cutscenes. Some of them looked really cool, but I was just mashing whatever button got me
On to the
across
next thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do say that I think it's just that's the style of game where that's going to happen to you. The same thing happened to me with both Destinies, where you are sure there's a story there somewhere, and Destiny 2 obviously they worked on it a lot harder, and I do think they did a much better job in Destiny 2. But with Destiny 1, it was. And the same with World of Warcraft, I'd say. I am in a party chat with my friends, and we're all fucking around and saying dumbass jokes, and I'm not paying attention to what's happening on the screen. Like, it's more about the friend experience than it is absorbing what's happening on your TV.
I think that if I had played it on my like the story mission on my own, which I kind of feel like it's intended to do that way.
Yeah,
I
and they
would've-
make you do
like,
solo missions, yeah.
And like I feel like that's how I like. Had I initially cared instead of running through the things, because like at no point was Greg. That's not true. He might have been behind me just for a tiny bit, but like it was always me having to go through these cutscenes so that he could join me.
Okay.
Now, to
Yeah.
be fair, this is the first time that they ever really did it on this sort of effort level, right? Like there was never like massive cutscenes or anything in Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter, this is an Americanization of the product to a degree. It's a streamlining, I think, and
they nailed it.
Yeah, and they did. Monster Hunter's narrative has always been secondary to its mechanics, but Monster Hunter's narrative has also always been secondary to its lore. Monster Hunter, like Dark Souls, is more about knowing what's going on from a lore perspective than from a story perspective. Much like Dark Souls, there's absolutely a story, but very little of it relies on cutscenes and classical narrative to tell. It's much more about this world you live in, the interesting stories behind these monsters, these areas, these items, these weapons, these villages. It's about getting soaked up in this world around you that's kind of full of mystery and interesting things, and then seeking your own out. But it's not like Monster Hunter is completely alien to the idea of directing game storytelling either. I think they just hit that kind of sweet spot where it appeared familiar to everyone.
Yeah. Really good custom character creator
In Monster Hunter?
in Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
That,
world.
like, playing that, because I think this is one of the first games that I've actually had to create a character coming from Destiny 2, I think. I'm sure there have been other games, but I guess I just always look
Where
back
you
at Destiny
cared.
2 as like, gee, it's the same fucking character as Destiny
I
1.
heard somebody say the other day, I don't remember where this was, that Army Hammer looks like the default dude in every character creator ever.
That's a good...
Tim
that's a
Gettys
good
also
thought.
often looks like
Does he?
with the hair.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
They nail him,
Kinda,
yeah.
I never thought about that before. I want to picture a Tim now with that character creator screen. That'd be kind of amazing. I can see making that.
What's your game of the year, Jared?
Oh, I didn't know it was going to get thrown back at me.
Yeah, you did.
No, and I'm not ready to answer. I have a lot of contenders.
I wasn't done with God of War.
Then continue.
Because
Oh, right. Sorry.
no, it's okay. Fuck me, right? So God of War. It's. I feel like right now it's my game of the year. I think that there's a lot of potential stuff that's gonna knock it off. I enjoy it. I don't really like what you were saying. Like game of the. What did you say?
Game of Generation?
I'm not sure if it's game of the generation. Just because it's a great game.
I mean, we can't say that yet because
No, I know, but I mean, I still think
but
now. And when you say generation, do you mean like what does that entail?
I mean, like the PS4 era.
But does that also include Switch games? Like, is Breath of Wild in that same conversation? Because in my mind,
I'd say so. Yeah.
As much as okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
As much as I love God of War and it like has a killer story, something about Breath of the Wild in my mind like kicks it off that
Sure.
like goes above it. And even though Breath of the Wild didn't have the best story, you know?
Well, Breath of the Wild is kind of like radio. Breath of the Wild is a place where you have this amazing soundscape laid out in front of you, this world of fidelity that's full of empty space, and you fill it in with your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that's very hard to capture in any other game. They call it lightning in a bottle with that game. I don't know how they did it. It's amazing.
So to me, I think definitely God of War is my game of the year so far because it does so much right. But I think that there's a lot this year still coming.
Sure.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at coming up?
I mean, Smash will change this office for sure.
Yeah.
When it comes in, we are all going to be obsessed.
Yeah, it's gonna be like when Mario Kart came out.
I think it's going to be further than that. I think that like I will definitely push for like every day we play it.
Well, I mean, Mario Kart is competitive, but you also know that half the time you're going to get screwed at the 11th hour. Whereupon Smash really is about just beating other people and being better at them. Although I'm one of those fools that plays with items on. That's right.
Oh,
I
no.
do.
No,
yeah.
You forget about that right now.
No, items on.
In this office,
Items
no
on.
items, final destination stage for all of it.
Why would you want to
Or
play?
what is it, the
If you
Omega?
don't have, if you
I'm
don't
gonna
have,
play on Corneria.
if you don't have items, why, you're gonna missing out on all the Nintendo love that's in that game. You defeat the point of Smash Brothers when you play with items on.
Nonsense.
You're taking a game about
Nonsense.
a fox that fights a little.
Well, let's throw in a
Toon Man
hammer that just
and
makes
taking
it
seriously.
clear the bottom. No.
No,
get outta
I'd say
here.
we do play with items for a bit just to see the additions that they put in there.
Yeah, this is a game
I mean,
about
I'm down to
Nintendo
play
love.
it for a bit, but like the purity of Smash on its own with the final destination as all the stages. Oh man, there's something magical there because it takes all the like fuckery out. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you'll be on a stage and it's the ones where like it moves and shit falls down and you die
It's what
because
you want,
platforms
yes.
and, yeah.
That's the whole point of the game.
Get out of here.
Oh man,
Get out of here. The point of the game is skill and sheer luck.
No.
Because we're going to be playing a lot of 8-player Smash, and it's going to be phenomenal. Because the thing about, I think that differentiates Mario Kart from Smash in this office is that there are people here that are excellent at Mario Kart, and when you start playing, you get in front, like the bottom 6 are fucked.
Right.
It is really the first 2 that are competing in my mind. But when it comes to Smash, and you're doing 8 people, there's a free-for-all. No matter how good you are, there is still the potential of like you go to hit someone and someone else comes out and misses who they were going to hit and they hit you.
And you can kind of Fortnite your way through a Smash match sometimes. Like
Absolutely.
you can be the person that just kind of survives.
I've been there many times
and
because I'm not the best Smash player, but I hide sometimes.
And it's just like, no, I'm alive. I'm going to make it.
I've been so discouraged by Smash in this office. I thought I was good, and this office told me that you're not very good, Andy. And I think it's just because I was good on the Wii U Smash. Yeah. But when, I was good at Brawl. Because Brawl Pikachu is way overpowered.
Yeah, you always say that.
And now on Wii U Smash, they brought him back down to Earth, and I'm not worth a damn.
Well, again, I think that's the fun of playing between versions. But that's why I don't. This is a game about a lightning rat that fights a spaceman that throws little red, yellow, and green monsters
old as time.
I recently read somewhere that he was based off of a squirrel. Did you see this?
What?
Yeah. You mean Squirtle is?
No. Look it up. Pikachu, originally based off a squirrel.
Yes, I did hear about this. Yes. A little risk. No,
because Squirtle is like a squirting squirrel turtle.
Yes, Andy. You got it.
Yeah.
You're right.
I love the Smash talk, but I think that's a discussion for another day. So I am going to say to you gentlemen, one final time, boy. What is your game of the year so far? Kevin?
God of War.
Andy?
God of War.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, 2 for 2. God of War, God of War. Perhaps unsurprisingly, a lot of games headed out soon. E3 coming, lots of announcements there. Perhaps we will see more. Perhaps we will know more. And we're all certainly going to play more should the world endure, and we think it will. Therefore, gentlemen, I thank you for your opinions, your insight.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
What's your game of the year?
Dude, this is Andy and Kevin's
Metal
Game
Gear
of the Year.
Survive.
I'm playing the part of the host. I'm not here to talk about myself anymore.
No.
I ranted about
He also
Megaten.
said he didn't know.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I thought you were holding off for something.
No, it's Andy and Kevin's Game of the Year. That's the topic today. It's not Andy, Kevin, and Jared's Game of the Year.
I don't like that one
This
bit.
video's going to do gangbusters.
I feel like I was lied to there.
No, this isn't about me at all. I talked about Megaten. I got to do my thing. I'm done.
So
No.
you hear that Megaten. That's his game of the year.
So it could be. I don't know. I can bring strange. I mean, I'll tell you what. I was sitting there last night playing it till my eyes
I will
bled.
tell you what.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to mix so many monsters in my Demonica. I'm going to make me some amazing cocktails of monster awesomeness.
That's how I've been with 50-50 squads in Fortnite.
Yeah?
They got this new 50-50
Yeah.
mode right now.
I heard
And
some people are being mean in that mode.
People are being dicks, man.
How they being dicks?
You know what they do is so
Tell
the
me
way
what they do.
the way the game is, it's split up in two halves, right? So one bus is on one side, the other bus is on the other
Do
side.
you get to choose what half you're in, or is
no,
it random?
No, it's randomized. You could choose where you drop, obviously.
But you can't do it in squads, right?
You want to drop with where your squad is landing,
Got
right?
it.
So no, you are squads, yes.
No, but I mean, like, do the 4-man squad still a possibility there, or
Yes,
is-
but you still go
so you
out
can
in
still
four.
there be with your friends.
You still go out in 4 with your friends if you want,
Got
or
it.
with
Got
randoms
it.
or
Just
whatever.
making sure.
And what people are doing, Kevin, in order to get to the
Oh, you know what? The Thanos you can't do in squads.
correct,
That's one man
correct,
only.
Yeah, correct. So what people are doing in order, because obviously the map's very, very big, but at the very, very start, it shows you this is where the circle's going to be. This is where all the conflict is going to be, and it's very, very small. It's pretty small. And so what you do is you land, you start gathering, you harvest, you get everything you can, you get all your materials, and then you head towards a spot. So what a lot of people do is to head towards a spot. Maybe you landed pretty far away with it from the initial small circle. People create giant ramps, put a jump pad, jump towards the next giant ramp with the big jump pad, and you get to the circle really, really fast. Like you are transported there. Really, it's just a really cool express sort of transportation system. What people are doing is teammates are team killing their own team just to fuck around, and they're shooting the ramps while people are running up there,
Oh,
and they're
damn.
just falling to their deaths. And it really pissed me off. And I saw a guy doing it to people on my team, not in my 4-man squad, but I saw a guy doing it to one of our teammates, shooting a ramp just to see him fall. Then when he went, I fucking shot it down, and he died. He got knocked down. I
You
felt
got
so
him
good,
good.
Jared.
There you go.
Justice was served, and we were still down one guy, and I think we probably lost the match. So.
You are the vigilante.
Exactly.
Wait, all right. So one question that I'd like to hear your answer, if you
Uh-oh.
won't talk about your game of the year. What games are you excited for?
Oh, coming up? Goodness. Spider-Man, definitely. I have a
Absolutely.
lot of affinity for that character, and I want to see him done justice in a contemporary game.
Yeah, you do think some of the old games did him good, right?
Yeah, there's some good
Okay.
there's some good Spider-Man
Yeah.
games,
All right.
but it's been a while. Been a while since we had a Spider-Man game.
I think
and-
it's
Maximum
been
Carnage.
No, there's several good
with
Spider-Man.
green jelly.
What was the last Spider-Man games that came out? There was
The
the
Amazing Spider-Man ones.
no, the Splinter in Time or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Fracture in Time. No.
Fracture, which is the one that let you switch through different Spider-Mans, like Noir and.
Yeah. No, I don't remember anymore. The only Spider-Man game anyone should care about up until the new one is not even a Spider-Man game. It's the Shinobi game where you fight against bosses that include Batman, Godzilla, and Spider-Man.
I
Edge
like
of Time.
Shinobi a lot.
What's that?
I like Shinobi a lot.
Yeah, there's a Shinobi game where you fight Spider-Man and Batman and Godzilla.
It's called Edge of Time.
It's pretty great.
I
I heard it the first time.
Red Dead.
Oh, you didn't do anything, Kevin. So
I'm sorry.
it's fine.
Yeah, that's right. Red Dead obviously is huge for me. I loved the original Red Dead, and this looks like another one of those games that was made for me. It's like a cinematic / mechanical combination that just seems tailor-made to fulfill my every desire. I love open world gaming. I love cinematic-oriented movie-influenced gaming.
Yeah.
I love the Old West. I love story-driven gaming. It's all there. This is just like, it's Rockstar, so it's going to be good. That is really exciting for me. Those are two that come to mind right away.
Watching Westworld, it's like I just want to play Red Dead.
So bad. Out of all the games that you're excited, like which one do you think you're the most excited about?
Oh, definitely Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even close.
Out of Spider-Man and Red Dead?
Well, no, I mean just any game that's coming out in the next like Smash.
That's so hard. I would say
tennis too.
I would say Spider-Man because I think we're not super far. I mean, granted, it's like 7 years ago from Red Dead 2, right?
From Red Dead? Red Dead was 2009, I think. Late 2009 or early 2010.
Really? I thought it was like
I think it's 2010.
It was a long
I think it's
time
2010, I believe. Sorry, I should.
Okay.
I run a show about this. I should remember that.
Yeah, I think the last time we got a good Red Dead game was 2010.
Almost
this
a decade ago. Yeah.
Wait, how
this
soon?
decade though, but the last time we got a good Spider-Man game, I think it's been a while. Shattered Dimensions was actually the name of the
That's
game.
the one you're thinking
not
about.
Edge of Time.
Yeah.
Was not Edge of Time not like the sequel?
I don't know.
Shattered Dimensions was cool though. And then wait, you said something.
Spider-Man and Red Dead.
When did Undead Nightmare come out? Like how soon was that after?
I don't remember.
I was working at Best Buy in Georgetown, so
Yeah.
that was probably 2012, 2013.
Okay, because I remember
13? That seems awfully late.
Yeah, that's very late. That's very
seems
late.
very late.
I'll say 2012. Let me look for it.
when that came out. I had played Red Dead
Yeah.
for a while, but when that came out, man, I went
Fuck,
deep,
2010.
I went deep. Oh, okay,
it
so
didn't take
right
long.
after. It was like a
9
year
to
after.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that period, no, but I'm really looking forward to that. I wanted a sequel to this game forever or a remake or something. Now I'm going to get it. It's going to be great. So yeah, what about you, Kevin? What's your, so you said Smash, and that's a big one for me too.
No. Wait, was that what you're most excited for?
No, I said Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you said
Spider-Man.
Smash. I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
I think I am most excited for Red Dead.
Yeah.
Like, man, I lost lots of time and many hours to that game, and I will again.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am excited to see what Insomniac does, right?
Yeah.
But there is a huge level of excitement to see what Rockstar can do with their giant team that it's full of money and full of devs and full of resources, what they can do on a game this generation. Because, it's been, GTA 5 was last gen. And
they have their resources and they take their time.
Oh, sure.
They just
Yeah,
take their time to get it the way they like. They really are interested in advancing the state of the art, and they have the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that makes this game tremendously exciting. I don't think it's overhyped in any stretch of the imagination. I know people are tired of hearing about a game that hasn't come out, but there's just every reason to believe this is going to be great.
Yeah.
So that's it. And
It's crazy this year we're getting Spider-Man that looks that good and Red Dead.
yeah, they're great. Oh, it's such an exciting time.
And then Smash.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Mario Tennis Aces, man.
Yeah, sure. Tennis Aces.
Tennis Ace is going to, and there's unannounced stuff. I mean, if this Star Fox thing is real, I love Star Fox. That'll be one of my
I do
favorite
too.
games this year.
I feel like we've been burned a lot with that.
Game of the year will be a Hyper Light Drifter on Switch.
Well, there we go. I feel like
Just
there's
kidding.
something else that ate a
That's
bunch
good.
of my time this year that I forgot, and something portable, but it's eating. Anyway, I think it's time to let this here party die out for the day. Let folks go back to do other things that they enjoy. We thank you for watching and listening. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Kevin. This is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. We appreciate your time, your eyeballs, your ears, and Doki Doki, your warm game loving hearts.
That was beautiful.
I hated it.
I have to go pee.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed my first, second, maybe third Gamescast that I've ever been on. If you want to see more of that, go up top there. You can hit, why are you pointing the wrong way? There it is. You can hit subscribe. You can check out our other channel here, Patreon right here. And if you want to see Jared's show, Red Dead Radio, click right there. Go on, click it.
Do
Click
it.
it. Do it
Do
for
it.
me. Do it for me, baby. Yeah. Yeah.